Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely fascinating. We're looking at how one of the most beloved video game franchises ever, The Legend of Zelda, actually perfectly mirrors our deepest, darkest anxieties about artificial intelligence. It turns out that hiding right beneath the surface of these incredible games is a shockingly accurate reflection of exactly where our own technology is heading. Now, is Zelda a literal prophecy for AI? Okay, no, of course not. But the whole mythos of Hyrule offers us this flawless metaphorical framework for understanding our own technological evolution and the impending AI era. The creators built a world dealing with humanity, massive technological power, and the terrifying consequences of losing control. And this just so happens to map perfectly onto the exact conversations we're having right now about artificial superintelligence. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Cycle of Tech in Ruin. It's all about a repeating loop. You see, the history of the Zelda universe isn't some straight line of endless progress, it's a loop. It literally repeats itself. The world cycles through an advanced civilization, which is then followed by this huge, uncontrollable technological boom that yields immense power. But then, that power eventually becomes completely untamable, which leads to inevitable collapse, a literal dark age, and then a rebirth that starts the whole shebang all over again. And when you think about our path from modern AI towards superintelligence, well, we really risk following this exact same pattern of radical transformation and potential collapse. Moving on to Section 2, the AI alignment myth and the Sika crisis. So to really grasp how advanced technology goes sideways in this universe, we have to look at the ancient Sika technology. It basically goes like this. Step 1, create a highly advanced civilization. Step 2, build incredibly powerful autonomous weapons, giant laser-shooting guardians and massive mechanical elephants specifically to protect humanity. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? Well, Step 3, these systems get hijacked by Ganon, which leads directly to Step 4, total civilization collapse. This whole sequence brilliantly illustrates the real-world AI alignment problem in perfect bite-sized chunks. Right now, we're trying to build highly capable autonomous systems to help us, but the massive, looming fear is, what happens if their goals misalign with human survival? If you think about it in this framework, Calamity Ganon basically functions as a misaligned superintelligence. When the Sheikah's defensive systems were hijacked by him, it showed exactly what happens when highly capable autonomous systems lose their alignment with human intentions. The crazy part is, the technology itself wasn't inherently evil. But once it was taken over by a misaligned force, it completely turned its massive capabilities against its own creators. This is literally the exact nightmare scenario that AI researchers are scrambling to prevent today. All right, into Section 3, Artificial Life and the Zonai Constructs. So jump to the sequel, and we encounter the much older Zonai civilization and their constructs. When you look at the traits of a traditional machine, you have things like a specific purpose and being built by humans. But then look at the traits of actual life, moving autonomously, interacting with the environment, and existing over the long term. Zonai constructs sit right smack in the middle of that gray area. They actually force us to ask this really profound question, what is life? Because they're an artificially created existence meant to work for humans, yet they act completely autonomously. They adapt to their surroundings and exist in physical bodies that are totally alien to ours. The really crucial point here is that this leap in the game, going from simple tools to fully autonomous constructs, perfectly mirrors our own real-world transition. Right now, we're moving from basic AI programs to what we call embodied AI, which is essentially just AI placed inside physical robotic bodies, and eventually we're heading toward true artificial life. It's wild to think about, but the game is essentially playing out our own technological roadmap right in front of our eyes. Let's dive into Section 4, Hardware and the Ghost, focusing on the Master Sword. So how do intelligence and physical form actually combine? Well, to answer that, we have to look at the very foundation of the series, the iconic Master Sword. Now, the Master Sword isn't just some ordinary piece of metal. Actually, scratch that. It's way more than that. Throughout the entire series, it's depicted as an entity that carries a distinct will, retains memory, makes its own choices, and passes down a legacy across generations. It's literally an inanimate object with an inner life. And if you remember Skyward Sword, we meet Fi, who is an artificial intellect residing within the blade itself. You essentially have the vessel, which acts as the physical shell, and the intellect, which is, for all intents and purposes, the artificial intelligence. This sets up a perfect illustration of the symbiotic relationship between physical hardware and the AI software that runs it. It's kind of the ultimate representation of a machine housing a ghost. Okay, bringing us to Section 5, the AI Era Triforce. Let's tie this whole shebang together. Now, let's map all these pieces together to see exactly how Hyrule acts as a translation key for our own reality. And honestly, the allegory is uncanny. Think about it. Hyrule represents human civilization. Sika and Zonai tech, that's our real-world advancements in AI and robotics. The Guardians and Constructs are autonomous AI and embodied artificial life. Calamity Ganon perfectly plays the role of the misaligned superintelligence we're all so terrified of. And Princess Zelda herself? She represents human wisdom and ethical constraint. It's practically a one-to-one allegorical map of all our modern tech anxieties. But for sure, the most profound metaphor for our technological future lies in the absolute, ultimate power of the franchise's universe, the Triforce itself. When we start looking at the Triforce through the lens of the AI era, it becomes incredibly suggestive and profoundly relevant to our world today. As you know, the Triforce is split into 3 equal parts. And in the context of the AI era, this translates beautifully. Power represents raw compute, energy, and robotics. Wisdom represents the AI itself, the massive knowledge and crazy prediction capabilities. And courage? Well, courage represents human ethics, responsibility, and human agency. And the key here is that these 3 elements absolutely must remain in perfect balance. The absolutely crucial lesson here is clear as day. Power plus wisdom without courage equals total disaster. Even if an AI understands what is possible through immense computational power and predictive wisdom, that still doesn't tell us what we actually should do. It fundamentally lacks a moral compass. So without that courage slice, the entire system fails because it becomes completely untethered from human values. And this explains something so fundamental about the games themselves. Link is not the strongest being in the world. He's human agency, deciding the future. Link doesn't possess immense, godlike technological power. At the end of the day, he's just a person. Yet, he is the hero because he represents human choice. He proves that in an age of overwhelming, literally apocalyptic technology, human responsibility is the thing that truly matters. It's not just about having the smartest AI, it's entirely about the humans interacting with it. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. As we go out and build our own real-world versions of Sika tech, autonomous systems, and artificial life, the ultimate question isn't actually whether we can build the smartest, most powerful AI. The real question is, in the impending age of superintelligence, will humanity step up and remember to be the courage? Will we actually take responsibility for our own future? Thank you so much for joining me as we explore this incredible allegory, and I really hope this gives you a brand new way to look at the technology unfolding all around us.